As explained previously, the Snap to Grid category allows users to snap precisely to points along a grid. When working with the grid snapping parameters, there are two types of grids available. First is the Snap Grid, which shows as the dotted line grid. When active, this grid is the grid that all objects and tools will snap to when drawing or editing. The Reference Grid, which is the solid line grid, provides a visual reference for drawing, but objects and tools do not snap to this grid. For both of these, you can set the distance between the grid lines. For the X and the Y direction individually, or you can check the symmetrical option to set the same dimensions for X and Y. Next, the grid option lets you set how the grids will behave on screen and when printed. Show Grid allows you to show the reference grid or the active layer plane grid. However, this grid may not always show, depending on your zoom factor. Keep in mind that if this option, Show Grid, is unchecked and the Snap to Grid category is still selected in the snapping palette, you'll be snapping to the grid even though you can't see it. The Print Grid option, as it says, allows you to print both grids on both design layers and sheet layers. The last two options let you set how the 3D axes are displayed on the grid. Show 3D Grid Axes displays the blue Z-axis on the grid, and Show 3D Axis Labels provides a clear text label for the X, Y, and Z axes on the active layer plane and working planes. That covers all of the grid snapping settings. Remember that Snap to Grid allows you to edit and create objects using your user-defined grid points.